Hello and welcome back to Pfunzo's View podcast. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about self esteem or confidence, self love, whatever you want to name it. But on the title, is going to be named self esteem. So, for y'all who don't know who I am, my name is Pfunzo Mengwanani, and I am the vendor chef on the channel that you're watching this on. And so, here goes nothing, and let's just start this topic. And I'm just gonna be talking about my experiences, me, what happened, where my self esteem is, and all of that good. And if you are coming here for the first time, welcome. And if you wouldn't mind, you can quickly hit the subscribe button. And at the end of this video, if you, wow, I actually said video, which it is technically a video. If you did enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below with your own experiences, and let's have a conversation. Okay, so today's one, like I said, is gonna be self-esteem, whether it's issues or low or high, medium. I don't know if that's a thing, but we're just gonna be talking about it. So where do I start from? So I've always been, I guess, since like maybe I don't know, after 5 6 I started gaining weight and being fat or obese. I don't know which one it was, overweight, fat, or obese. I don't know which one. Um, so at that time, I was also suffering with depression, which, if you listen to my previous episode on depression and self harm, you would know how all of that was. So at that time, I spoke a little about all the self esteem and what I was going through and all of that. So I gained all of this weight. Now the reason why I did was there was something that happened when I was younger, and I thought if I ate enough and got fat enough, this was my logic when I was younger, then I would not look appealing sexually to anybody. So then I would be safe. So that was my thought process onto why I should just, because I thought, oh, if I'm fat, then it means I'm gonna be ugly. Then that means no more attention or anything like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So this is what it's gonna be. So that's what I was doing. But at the same time, while that was happening, my depression was getting worse, and also my self-esteem was being, it was almost nothing. Listen, I had friends, not like a lot of friends, like I'm gonna be coming out to it, like I had like a whole bunch of friends. Now I had a couple of friends growing up, and we played with each other. We were different ages because we were living in the same area. It was a tea estate, so it was where the Métis. I don't know. My dad was part of management, but they were also like, you had different houses, right? Because it was, just after apartheid and everything, you had white people living in an area which was like for management, which of course was much better, that, than the areas that black people were. And that was where management was staying. And then you had the black management that was staying in the area that we were. And then of course you also had the comp camp, which is the hostel residences for everybody else that was working on the plant. And I used to play with the kids that were living in the same black, the black management residential area that we were in. And yeah, those were my friends. But when my self esteem was getting low, when whatever was happening was affecting me. Now listen, two things happened after the thing that happened to me. Was at the point I became overly too sexual, and I think that was the coping thing, was I became maybe a little too sexually, mind you, this was before 8 years old, ne? And then that turned into me just not being, I'm still not comfortable around um the other gender all that much. And I think that's why it took me so long to even be intimate to that extent with the other gender, because I had a wall up when it came to them. And when I said the other gender, I should just say men. I was not comfortable around men or boys or the male species as is. Um, So I was more comfortable if I had questions in public. I would literally find the a woman anywhere, and then I'll ask her or girl, because I was more comfortable with that. And I was like, you can say I'm afraid of men, and it stemmed from that. And at that time, the friends that I had mostly, because we were not that many in that management side, it was boys. So, but there was a point when whatever happened happened. I did not see them the same anymore. But at first, what happened was being hypersexual. After all, it was it was still playing with boys, so that happened, and then started isolating, played less with them. Then people started moving out of the place, so I had to leave. And then, of course, having friends reduced, and I was more close with my brothers and family members than I was with like outsiders or anything like that, which I was comfortable with. I mean, I am an introvert after all, guys. So, so that happened, and then we moved again to a new area and a new school. So no, actually, that time I think I'd already started going to the new school when we moved the last time. So and at least I had like some sort of like a safety thing because I was going to the same school as my brothers, but they were just in secondary school while I was in primary school. With my older brother, the oldest one, I'm 9 years apart from him, and then the second one, I'm 7 years, like we're 7 years apart. So they were in secondary school while I was in primary school, and at least that, you know, going to school and everything. I had family around and everything, and my mom was teaching at that school before she left the school, so at least I had that. I think I had that until I was in grade five, and then see grade six and seven. I was alone, but I already made friends and I was okay. I was cool. It's not like I saw my brother every time, but at least traveling and all of that was with my brothers. But yeah, I saw them. I saw them like then, and that was fine then. So uh, so that was what was happening. So listen, when I was younger, when it came to my weight, I did not I did not really have a problem with it. Like, listen, if I showed you old pictures of myself posing and looking at myself, feeling myself, going like, yes, okay, I love me. There were self-esteem issues, but it was more so just a fear of men, not really thinking that I was ugly or anything like that. I knew I was fat, and like sometimes people will be like mean to you because you're fat. And I was a kid by that time anyway. People are being mean to me while I'm a child about being fat. Even older people, which is the most disgusting thing. When it's older people, like get some manners or something, man. You don't have to be like that to kids. Like I'm a child, and you can see that I'm a child, but you're still like that. And because I was like a lot more just chubby or fat when I was then, like my face even looked like I looked like a little child. So you knew that my age, I was not that old, but you had to say something because you have a mouth to talk. So I'm still gonna say that was disgusting and just the most awful thing. Like, when children are doing it, ne, it's still a reflection on their parents because you don't teach your kids manners. But it was more so like it's children, and things like that happen, which is not good either way. But we just like, okay, it's kids, whatever. But when it's older people telling you this, and you're just like, are you serious? Like, can you just grow some maturity or something? I don't know if you grow it or something, but can you just be matured in your life so that you don't feel the need when you see a child to just happily say your opinion as if your opinion means anything. Um, and that thing also affected my self esteem because I'm like, you're out here it was basically being bullied or being made fun of because you're fat. And then, of course, since I'm in the class, I think I was the fattest in the whole class. I remember when I was in grade seven, and one of my teachers, right? Maybe it wasn't with malice or anything like that. Let me or not, maybe it wasn't. And we were doing this thing where it was a classwork or whatever, and we were taking our measurements of our weight. Now, before you measure any of us, clearly I'm the heaviest in the whole class, and anybody can see that on first glance. That okay, she is the heaviest in the class. Now listen, at that time my self-esteem was on the ground. Okay, it was on the ground. I was just on the ground as in like I don't know. It was bad, but in school I still pretended because mind you, if you listen to the depression one, your girl was going through the depression, so a lot of things were like just adding on to other things and all of that. But yeah, but we did the whole weighing in thing, right? And everybody had gone. And like, if you were anybody like observing, you would see that I didn't actually want to go on the scale because I knew mine was going to be high. And I think I still remember the measurement was 96 and kgs. I was like, I know, I still remember it because it was stuck in my head. And I dreaded going on this scale. I did not want to go on this scale because I knew they would make fun of me. Yes, most of us were friends and the girls, whatever. But kids are kids and they will make fun of you. And I wish at that time I'd known that I could have just said, I do not want to. No, I do not want to. I do not want to participate in this because listen, if you're gonna do anything in school, can you not take out your scale and try to measure kids their weight? Can you just not? I already suffer with self-esteem and it just out here just went like, we're gonna make it worse. We're gonna make sure that the whole school knows how much you actually weigh. Which I was like, I don't know why you had to do that. I have no idea why that had to be a thing. And why you couldn't just take random weights as examples if you actually wanted to do that. I don't know why my weight had to be there with my name there, and then I had to see it, and then I had to say that yeah, definitely bigger than all the other kids, and I was just sitting there like, I don't know what that had to be done for. It just, as a teacher, I think you should be responsible enough for you not to just do that because you know you're grown, you know that that's still something that when you're growing up, it's not. We can be saying we want to be positive and everything, but even on the internet, if you go on there, you will realize that yes, you want to be positive. Yes, you want to be like, yes, I'm good. I don't need this and all of that, but it still affects you. People are still saying mean things. So at that time, I was like, yeah. And then also at home, and I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to, but when I was trying on this pants that my aunt had, I think my aunt had given like what is it called? What do you call thrifting at home when somebody gives you the clothes? Second-hand clothes, but they were still good and in good condition. And she'd given me some of the clothes, and I was trying them on, and then I was showing off to my brothers. And then now listen, I don't know what like my belly at the time. It was not like it was the biggest, but like I used to wear my tights and everything, and even if it was like almost like high waisted or whatever, ne? And then like my t-shirt did not cover all the way to like at the bottom of my stomach because it was big, of course. I'd be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm young and it was fun, and I didn't know that people are looking at you and like looking at your clothes or whatever. And then like because it still stays with me even though I try to get rid of it, but that statement is still in my head. It was like, no, oh no, like I know it was not with malice, but when he said like, oh, like, but like I was talking about the bottom part of me that it was big and everything, and that I should get like a t-shirt that's gonna cover that. Listen, that thing stayed with me. And from then on, I was like covering, and I stopped. I think there was a point where I stopped wearing pants because I was like, oh, okay, so I cannot wear stuff that, the bottom part or the fattest part of my stomach is just showing or doing anything. And like, like even now, I realize it and I catch myself like looking at other people who have the same thing, and I'm like, oh no, oh my god, that's not how you wear those clothes. Oh my god, that's disgusting. But not to leave the word disgusting because I actually I hate the word disgusting, even though I just used it I don't know how many times in this whole podcast. But I hate it. Like the thing is, I'm sure when he said it, he didn't mean it as like it didn't mean any harm or anything like that. It's just that unfortunately, when it went into my head, it came in as like, you don't do that. That's ugly. You don't wear like that. You look whatever. And I remember even leaving there, I was so hurt. I didn't say anything, but I was so hurt, and it stayed with me. Like I only started wearing pants in grade 12 when somebody was like, oh, because we had like for life orientation, we had to go to the field and we had to do some things, and at that time, I was like, oh, okay. I usually I'd probably put on like a skirt or something with tights on the underneath, just so that like, but I had to get pants because that was not working. So I had these pants that sometimes I wore if I was at home and not going anywhere. But I'll have t-shirts that were longer so that they could cover my stomach. And someone was like, why are you not wearing pants? Which, kudos to my friends for telling me that, because after that I was like, I'm going back to pants. Which right now I'm like, yes, pants, comfortable. Sorry. So at that time, I think I wore it for a little bit, but I would have t-shirts and everything covering up. And for a long time, because I don't know when that happened, but Soon after that, I was going into high school and I started covering up. I had this thing like a, I don't know if you call it a pullover or something. I don't know, the ones without the arm. Forgot the name of it, but I had gotten it from Jed and I had two of them. And the school I was going to, the colors were black. Well, actually, it was more like brown and white, but you could also wear black, right? So I would wear that like it like even my brother made fun of the fact that one of my other brothers made fun of the fact that like if I was in town and you wanted to spot me, you just have to look for that thing and you know that she's right there and you. So I was just like, yeah. At that time that was me covering up so that I could blend into the world. Let me tell you, when I was in primary school, I was okay with standing out, with being seen, with being out there, with being with everybody, but at the same time reserved. Um, but when I got to secondary school, because I came in a week late and everybody had made friends, which this became a trend because, yo, when I went to varsity, the same thing happened. It was a week later and everybody had made friends in the rest that I was in and I had to start relations. So at least I started them when I was doing orientation. So at that time, now before secondary school, let's go back a little bit. I think I was in grade 4. And I remember with these girls, we were sitting there and they were drawing some things. And I'm pretty sure they asked that question on purpose. It was not a mistake. This one is not one I'm going to be like, children are being children. It was on purpose. And they were like, hey, so where does the skirt sit? Not that where was your waist? They asked me a question. And on a drawing, like, where do you think skirts sit? Like, she was like acting like she was going around everybody and asking them a question. And then she came to me and was asking me a question. And then when I showed her, because most of the time, when it's a big girl, probably not everybody, but most of your things when people go like high waisted, everything is high waisted. Only one, I'm short. Two, I don't actually like besides my underwear. I don't like anything underneath so that I can sit comfortable. I don't like it underneath my waist because my stomach is big. Okay, so everything is gonna be high waisted. So when I showed her where my skirt, it was like, no, 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 no. So this is not where it stays. This is like she already had it in her mind to tell me this, but she just wanted to find a way to say it in front of everybody, making fun of me. And I was like, I remember there was some that stood out for me, and I was like, okay, thank you for that. Um, but I just saw that that was not a thing of an actual genuine question. It was like, we're gonna make fun of her now, and I was just like, okay. I mean, okay. I didn't know we were doing like that. I didn't know we was doing like that. But that one also got to me, and I was like, okay. But then of course I got over that one faster because the hell, who the hell is she? Once I was young, I didn't care. Um, so then, now let's go back to secondary school. Went in, I was a week late. Everybody had made friends, people had their desk and everything. And mind you, before I went there, the school I ended up going to was Mbiwi, the one that was in trouble now for for the whole bullying and everything that happened in the school. I was at a school called Mpabuli. That one also had difficulties or school beatings or something like that before that, scandals. Um, I was there for like a week, if not less than a week. And it was, you call it orientation in high school? In secondary school? I don't know. Um, so I was there and like I was trying to find a desk. And people like some people knew each other, maybe some of them because they came from the same school, or it was easier for them to make friends or whatever. And I didn't really want to be in that school. Let me be honest, because I was like happy. I wanted to go to Mbibi and I wanted to go there. I ended up there anyway, but I wanted to go there, and then I had to settle for the school I ended up going to at that time, that first week, because I thought I was gonna be in my school forever. And I was like, okay, fine, we're gonna do this. Um, I'm gonna go to the school, and then we were looking for desks, right? And everybody had taken like the desk, like what two people sit, and then I found like a single desk, and I took it, and then I went to the class. This teacher had asked us to get the desk. I don't know why they were not already in the class, but you had to go get them anyway. And when I went to get the desk, I am shy. When I tell you, like when I before meeting anybody, I'm an introvert. I am shy, and I went and took the desk, but I didn't want to be arguing. People were sitting together already. People coming, people were friends. We were chilling, we were hanging out, and whatever. And I could not find any other desk beside that single desk. And I told him this when he came to me. And then this other girl was sitting next to me. And then when he came in, the girl was like, oh, so you just want to do that? Oh, you're going to sit alone in the corner. Guys, Imagine you are not the most self-confident person in the world, and this guy singles you out and tells you you're gonna sit alone. This other girl had come to sit next to me, and then he even kicked out of like where I was sitting, and he went and placed the another place. Again, it's a teacher, an adult doing this to a child. Just tell me. I'm gonna do this TikTok thing. Tell me you were not meant for teaching. You didn't actually do it because you loved it. You did it because of convenience without telling me that. Because I didn't understand why he had to do that to me, why he had to single me out, and why he had to do that to me. And guys, the time I found out that Miri had taken me, I was like packing my stuff and I said, I'm gone. And I hope he'll be happy with his damn ties. And I am glad I left that school because, like, that was not going to be it. Now, I'm sure I would have made friends and I'm sure I would have gotten used to the place and whatever. But I was so glad that I did not have to be in the same school as that guy. So glad. That teacher, I mean to say. So went to Miri and then of course made some friends. Took some time but made some friends and just that was just normal, but I was still covering up a lot, trying to blend into the background. I was fine with my friends. Like I had the energy with my friends, and the more I got used to the place and more people, I got used to like chilling with my friends and whatever. And that was fine. With my friends, I'm fine. I'm confident within a group of my friends, and I'm like, yes, I'm alive. You find me being funny. I remember somebody did ask me when I was in grade 12 or 11 that, when you're with your friends, you're like laughing, noise making, all of those things and whatever. But then when you come out, you're super quiet. I'm like, listen, like when they said that, I was like, I don't know. I'm more comfortable with people I know. And when it's strangers, it takes me some time to get used to them or to even, what do you call it, interact or whatever with you. Like I remember one of my friends when I was in varsity there. Like the first year when we met, the year that we met, I was quiet because I'd gone to another friend who was her friend, uh, who she was having a party, a birthday party, and I was there, and then I was just like, okay, um, I didn't know her. I didn't know any of them. Like I knew my friend, but I didn't know any of them, and I was quiet, weird, and all of that. But in 2014, when we re-met again, because I was like, now I'm like, okay, cool. I know you, even though it looked like I was being cold. I was like, oh, my older was like, yo, okay, this is different. Like this is more energy. I was like, listen, once I get to know you, I'm more open. Plus, you want me to shut up. Than when I just first met you and I'm still like, I don't know about you. And I'm still going to be sitting there just looking at you, just, I guess, observing you if you like. Um, yeah, let's go back to high school. Um, so when we were there I was still fine, covering up, wanted to blend in, even in class, did not want the teachers to really see me. But I mean, I'm fat, guys. It's difficult for me to say I'm gonna hide. Like even taxi drivers would know that that is the one because child I know I'm short, but I'm round. So what I lacked in height, I made up for in what do you call it, Gus? I made up in the sides. I went sideways, not up, sideways. Um, so so I'm pretty sure some of my teachers knew who I was because I was fat. Um, and yeah, so like in high school, I didn't really want to stand out. Guys, this also affected like dating because like there were times like I was asking myself and I was asking myself like, yo, am I ugly? Am I not attractive? Like I have people dating, being asked out and everything, and I was just, I was like, child, I had crushes on top of crushes on people, did not talk to them, and I was just sitting there like, dang, I must be ugly or something. This is what was going through my mind. I was just like, I must be damn ugly for no one to even look my direction, to even want to ask me out. Now, why it was a thing where I couldn't just go ask the guys that I wanted to ask, but I was also afraid that I was gonna be rejected because I was fat. There was this one where when I was in grade 12, I was like, oh my god, we sat in the desk or whatever. I think he had failed, I think the year before or something like that, I don't remember. And we were in the same class when I moved to the A class, ne? And I had a friend who used to talk to this person, and I was like, at that time, I was like, oh, okay, if I had the confidence. You were definitely what I was going to be going for. I do not know if it was almost like the bad boy, the fact that, the person still knew some people, were kind of like, I always say the stereotypical thing of like the bad boy, something like that is not a thing, but there was a point in time when that was like appealing, and I was like, okay, good looking. I was like, okay, I would, child, I would, if only you would. And, but unfortunately, of course, nothing happened. Yo, I didn't date until I was 21, almost 22 years old. I think that was my first official dating someone. There was a whole thing of like a friend connecting me with someone. She said it was a cousin, but listen, me that I do not know. If I was just speaking to that friend on mixed. There was a time that I got mixed because when everybody else was getting mixed, ne, I didn't really have a phone. So I did not have the mixed. I did not get hit by that stage of like having mixed and texting and all of those things. Maybe that's why I also don't really understand social media to that extent because I got a phone later on in life, and technology and everything. It was later on in life. Well, computers were at home, so I was cool with that, and I understood computers and everything. But just the whole texting, Facebook, I got it in grade 10, but did not really use it in grade 10 because I didn't understand it till I got to like varsity. Even in varsity, I didn't really use it that much because I still didn't understand it. This was Facebook, something that is not that hard to get. I was not, I did not understand it. It took me a while for me to use that thing. Um, yeah, but yeah, that time with that guy, I was just like, if only he would ask me out. Yo, this whole thing of like waiting for somebody to ask you out is like a lot. Then finally left that. I was gaining a little bit of confidence in grade 12 because I had friends who told me, girl, wear your pants, wear whatever, do whatever. And I was starting to get a little bit of confidence. I was like, yes. But it was still very low. It wasn't like a low yes. And not really a high yes. Then got to varsity. Even then, I was still shy. I'm going into a new environment. People don't know me. You can reinvent yourself. But of course, if your confidence is on the ground, it's sure, is on the ground, huh? You're still gonna have the same problems. And when I was there, I did make friends. It was easier with a group of people. So I was like, the people I was with was like people I knew from, I don't know, what do you call it? People I knew in the same class, and we were seeing each other over and over again. So it was like, it's cool, it's fine. It's people I see all the time. So I'm comfortable. I'm getting more and more comfortable. I'm pretty sure sometimes when people meet me, I can kind of come off as rude, and I hope I don't have that. But sometimes I think I feel my resting bee face sometimes, or just feeling like I'm angry, or feels like I'm being, but I'm just quiet because I'm afraid to talk to you because I'm afraid that I'm gonna say the wrong thing, and I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything like that. So I just keep quiet. Plus, I'm an introvert. I'm uncomfortable sometimes, but once I open up, I'm open up. Unless you then leave again and then we have to connect again, then I have to relearn how to be social with you again. Hey, this is so such difficult, eh? I don't know why my brain just makes life just that difficult for me. But when I was in university as well, I remember, I don't know if was this second year or something? Of course, you had a bunch of crushes on people you were in class with or just in the school with. And I remember there was once upon a time, there was not once upon a time, there was a time that this guy, like, he used to talk to me and everything, and I was like, maybe one day he's gonna finally ask me out. Maybe he's gonna, I'm interested. I would say yes, just ask me. Don't know why I didn't just ask him. I don't know why I was waiting for that poor person to say whatever they're gonna say. And then, of course, didn't happen. Uh, found that later on, the person got engaged or whatever. I'm sure they were married by now. But I was like, what could have been? What could have been? Probably would have broken up by now. But you always sit there like, what could have been? Um, and then I remember there was a time, and this had nothing to do with anything, and I'm sure the person just had a preference, right? Also, I was not gonna say yes, but sometimes it just feels nice to be asked, okay? And so this guy apparently had been going out asking a bunch of girls to date him in our class, like different girls to date him in our class. And they'd been rejecting him. Now I was thinking like, okay, he has everybody in my friend group except for me. And I was like, Nigga. So it is just everybody, almost every girl in that class he has doubt, except for me. Like when they said that, I was sitting there, I was like, you were laughing and everything, but you're thinking in the back of your head, like, dang, I must be ugly. Dang, I must not be appealing because everybody except me. I was like, oh wow, okay, girl. Hey, well, girl, what the hell? What is wrong with you? I know probably it has nothing to do with me. It probably was just the person likes what he likes and he liked what he liked, and I was like, okay, I it is what it is. You take it with stride. But then I think when I was in varsity, I started gaining a little bit more confidence, the more and more, because I was no longer covering up. Didn't really care much about what I was wearing. I was like, listen, school is a struggle. If I'm here focusing on what I'm wearing, that time I'm failing. What is the point? It is a struggle, and girl, you better get your ish together and just go do the thing. So I think by 2014, if you had my last podcast, I was there were certain things that were happening, but confidence wise, it wasn't so bad anymore. Like it was getting better. Then I left, then I was in Univen. Then in Univen I was like I was coming back. It was after 2014. We had gone past a lot of things and a lot of things were happening. I was like, listen, I am coming here, I'm going to be dressed because when I was at UCT, I was dressing like more like somebody who did not know how to put two outfits together. Eh? But when I went there, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start trying to put in effort into what I'm wearing. So I was like, yeah, now I'm like dressing nicely the way I want to. I'm feeling myself a little bit like the confidence is coming in. I'm like, yes, still shy at times. But I was like, the confidence is here. She's moving. She's making me feel good. I was like, yes, I've arrived. The real me is coming in. The door is open and she is here and she has landed. So I was just a lot more confident. I was I was talking, I was open, and I was just like feeling myself. And look at the face. Look at the face that you're looking at if you're looking at your screen right now. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you think she's cute? Because she is. And my weight was not giving me as much of a problem when I was like, I'm gonna be focusing on my weight. And I was like, nah, because when I was in the last year of 2014, in a little bit of 2013, I started focusing, like being hyper focused on my weight, cutting down my calories and counting and getting a scale that I could be measuring myself and stuff. I was trying to lose weight, but in the most unhealthy way as possible. And at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother myself with these things. I'm gonna be going to class and I'm gonna be doing all of those things. And I went there, it was getting better than 2017, I think, when I was going to culinary school. Because at that time, then that's when I actually was dating. Listen, in when I was in grade 12, somebody was asking me out at that time, right? But it was just the person was too old, and they just really, in all honesty, they wanted one thing. And at that time, I was not. That thing was not available for anybody. I was not giving out to anybody. And I left, and then we stopped talking and whatever. And then when I was there for the first year, my friend appeared like it was a hookup. I'm not quite sure if I was even talking to the person or if it was just some other whatever. And then when I was 2015, started dating somebody else. And with that person, that thing of like, with how much you looked at somebody, it looked like they were adoring you, right? And I know you shouldn't find your value via somebody else's, like how they feel about you. But at that time, I needed that validation. I needed to feel that love or that want or that yearning to be with me and solely me, and not judge me for my weight, and not feel like I'm less than or anything like that, which is what that person provided for me. Was like the way they looked at me was like with love and acceptance and openness, and they made me feel like I'm that big. I'm good looking. And I deserve to be loved, and I deserve to have. Also, please, if you're hearing any of the rain, I apologize. It's raining. Do not have a ceiling, and I think you can hear everything. Hopefully you can't, but if you are, my apologies. Yeah, but in any case, going back to what I was saying, I felt I felt loved, and I know this is validation from someone else, blah blah blah. But at that time, I needed that to start off the journey to where I am now. So so when all of that was like when I was dating him and everything, I felt good. Like the person, even if I was fat, whatever, they loved me, they were with me, whatever, you still had kind of, you most of the time, which is sometimes it's unsettling, but when you have those looks like when you're like, yeah, I know I look good. I know I do. I know I do. It's okay. It's okay. Don't take a picture, but it's okay. I do. And when I when I was like when I felt it felt good to be wanted. Yo, when I was at UCT, it felt like no guy wanted no damn thing. Like you had to go outside to find like older people, older men, basically. And that's when you'll be finding them like, oh, they're interested in whatever. Like, but when you're like in that school, I swear, even when other people were talking about the in relation, I was like, Cha, how did you get that person? Because them motherfuckers in here is like they scared or something. Like ain't nobody even talking to you or looking your direction or saying nothing. It's out here being a struggle. It's a struggle. And it's like, the hell? Okay, then he was, well, at that point, my confidence was getting better. And then I left, went to culinary school. And when I was doing my internship, listen, again, I know it's external validation or whatever, but I was already feeling myself at that point because I was dressing cute and I felt cute. I was doing cute hairstyles. Also, the other thing that showed me that my self esteem was like starting to get better, right? Is I started experimenting with my hair. I'd cut my hair in 2014 because I was like, new me, I'm gonna do something new. I'm going to transition into being natural. I started that transition in 2013. By 2014, I was like, yeah, we're doing a big job. Also because I had done my hair and I did not um I didn't take care of it like right after like the braiding. I didn't comb it or nothing like that. And if you know anything about leaving your hair matted like that, trying to comb through that age is a lot. So I went and did the big chop, but I already had like some natural hairs at the bottom, so they left a little bit of height in there. So I was not bald, but I did took this app on TikTok, not an app, the filter, and I was looking at myself. I was like, if I was bald, I would have been fine because I look cute as hell. That's what I did. Like I think it was like last week or something. And I was like, yeah. But at that time, my hair, whatever, I was cutting my hair over again. And I remember my cousin coloring hair, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do that. I want to color my hair. I want to see what it's gonna be. I colored my hair. It was just brown. I was still not out there. And then when was that? I think when my brother was going to get married, I always wanted to color my hair, but this time I was like, because you always wanted to blend into the bag, you didn't want to stand out, and if you color your hair, you you are definitely gonna be seen no matter what you do. You are definitely going to be seen. I was like, the time I was like, I'm ready. See me. I don't care whether or not you're looking at me, whether or not you're judging me. I simply do not care. I do not know what is happening. Don't know what just happened, but my screen had frozen, so I had to start re-recording this again. But my screen stopped recording. I don't know why. But in any case, so coming back to that, so I started doing more bolder colors, even with my braiding, and I started off nice and slow, with some brown instead of just black, because black, I felt like black washed me out and it didn't make me look good. I started doing because like when I was in like first year or so, I was still kind of covering up with like jackets or something like that, and then I let that one go, and then braiding was always like the same twist, black, short-ish or medium length. That was basically all I was doing. Which today, the truth, when I looked at the pictures, it did nothing for me. It was not cool. And then I don't remember what year it was, but this is when the high self-esteem was coming in. Went and bleached my hair myself. Looked spotty and not the best. Plus, I was scared that I was frying off any of the curl patterns or whatever, But I did it and I was like, yes. And then I started braiding my hair with like green colors. Granted, I didn't think the whole strand was green, but when I bought it, it looked like it had some black, but it didn't. So like I was braiding my hair with green, with red, with like gray or whatever colors. I was loving it. I was changing. You could see me from anywhere. I was like, yes. Um, then I started YouTube and 2018, end of 2018, and I said, it's time to gain that confidence. Dude, in order for me to be posting myself online and putting myself out there, for people to ridicule if they want to, which thank you that this has not happened as of yet. I think it's because my channel is very small. People in the comment section are so nice whenever somebody comments. They're super nice. And I'm always like, that's so nice. Now, what I'm afraid of is if the channel grows, when, no, you need to put the right words out there. When my channel grows, there's gonna be a lot of mean people because there are gonna be people who are gonna talk about, they're gonna be racist. There are people who are gonna talk about my weight, um, and my skills and everything. Listen, I'm still sensitive, okay? But I think I am mentally preparing myself for when that comes in. And if you're gonna be online, I'm not gonna lie, you need that confidence because people are mean. People are mean online. Like I've gone through comment section and I was looking at like, how does this person like imagine the because on my comment section there's a part where YouTube holds back some comments so that I don't see them. But of course right now I'm not getting like a bunch of comments, which please if you do want to leave a comment on how you feel or anything, please it helps me out. Please comment down below and like the video as well. Begging you. Um Appreciate it. But like there's gonna be a point where the YouTube is gonna hold certain comments for approval or it's gonna delete some of them, of course, if they're like mean, rude, or racist or anything like that. But there is also those comments that do come off as like, it sounds like it's not bad until you're like proper reading it and you're like, oh wow, okay. So I'm like, how many bad comments these people get? Like some of them you see them go like, I need a break. When you go down scrolling and somebody's calling them names and you're just like, how do y'all even cope? Like, how is your self esteem still so high? How your confidence? How are you okay mentally when you see things like this? I'm just sitting, I'm like, child, if this was me, yo, I don't know how I would be. And that's how for me, I'm like, you know what? Everything what they say, like you need somebody else to go through your comments or something, I'm like, I will definitely give it to somebody else to go through the comments and send me the good ones for me to comment on and not see even the good. I mean, the bad, not the good. Of course, see the good, not the bad. Even the comments when you go online and you go like when something is trending or somebody's trending, the things that these people get, the celebrities, like people forgetting that they're human beings and they have emotions and feelings, and you keep tearing them down. I don't know if you think they're suddenly gonna be like falling apart or what, but dang, no, no, y'all are mean, hey? There's a lot of meanness, eh? But at least there's also kindness. But yeah. But anyway, that's basically where my confidence right now, my confidence is whatever you say, that's you. That's a you problem. Not me. Has nothing to do with me. Your projection on you calling me ugly or whatever it is or whatever it has nothing to do with me. People who so there was a point in time where I also knew that I am not where I used to be. This girl comes to me. I know I'm fat. I know I'm obese. I know this. This is not something that's new to me, and I'm not denying the fact that I am. But this girl straight up came to my face. Like there's this toilets, public toilets. I'm pretty sure whoever's listening to me knows, but public toilets where you have to pay money to go into. And there's usually like these ladies who are sitting outside to give you toilet paper and stuff like that to go to give you access into the toilets. And because they clean the toilets and everything. And this girl saw me. I'm wearing my mom's like teaching like t-shirt or whatever with like a black skirt. We were just going to shop for some things right next to us. So I was like, I don't need to like be dressed up or anything like that. Plus, I might not have done my laundry, so you know, it could be that too. But yeah, she comes up to me. I know I'm fat, and then she goes uh, like she wants to go into the toilet. I straight up looked at this girl and said, "Now I know I'm fat." But your ass is not literally sitting out there thinking that I am like I, I know most of the ones that's the thing that I even understand. Like so you looked at the way that I was dressed and to you you thought you think those women do not wear good clothes. one first and foremost. Because I know I was dressed raggedy. I was not dressed great, okay? But I was comfortable, and that was the whole point of it. But she really straight up looked at me and said, mm-hmm, yeah, that's how that's. Don't even come to me and ask if you're the one doing that. I was just standing there, and I looked at her until my mom decided to answer. Because I was gonna look at her and just look at her until she felt like the hell. Because I was looking, I was like, see me see trouble. What? Because I mean, I also know, like when I was using Texas, there would be these people clearly older than me, like way older than me, who is like giving me the respect of somebody who's like way older than them. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, you know I'm fat, but this face, look at this face on the screen. Does this face look like one that is 50 years old? Because y'all look like you're 40 and you're looking at me like I'm 50 or something. I'm fat. Not older, just fat. Cute fat. Fat. That's it. Nothing else. And I looked at the person, I was like, are you are you for real? And this other girl as well that came in clearly older than me. Christy, you're older than me. Comes to me and tells like the way she's talking. I'm like this. Everybody has pet peeves, and mine is somebody acting like I'm older just because I'm fat. And I'm like, I just look at this. Sometimes it's like they're looking for help, and I just go quiet because I'm like, I'm not doing this. If really that's how you're coming at me, I am not the one. Nope, we are not gonna do this. Now calm the hell down. I'm fat. Nothing else besides being fat, and nothing is wrong with me being fat, but that's all I am. But I just looked at the situation. I'm like, ugh, human beings, I can't with y'all. I cannot. Like I cannot. And I know like maybe the person is not saying it with some sort of like bad intentions or whatever. Intentions are not always what I'm receiving. It's also what I'm receiving that is also important. And some of y'all out here acting like you do not know that I'm like some people just because I'm better, I am actually younger than you, but you're gonna be like, and I'm just like, I can't with y'all. Like I can't. Can we not? That's why I look at sometimes when I look at Nigerian movies, right? And I can clearly see that the person that they're using, who's fed, is actually probably younger than the person who they're using as their child. And I'm like, this I can see this person is young. How you gonna tell me that this nigga that looks like he's about 50 years old? Most of the times, because I know because I follow them online. They're like 50 years old, and you can see they're 50 years old, and they're the child of this person who looks like they're in their 20s or 30s. For real, just because they're fed, really, really. Why don't you just employ older people to act with those characters and at least give them the money? Also, just because I'm fat doesn't mean the only character I can play is your what do you call your punchline? Oh, she's fat. She's interested in you. How disgusting. How dare she think that she can actually have a relationship with like a hot guy or a guy that looks like this? How dare that this fat person actually think that's actually gonna happen? Hey, yo, the things that you see, like you use as a punchline, and people think it's okay because you're just fat. Okay, we can make fun of anybody else, but you being fat is the thing that we're gonna choose to make fun of. And I'm like, can you just can you be more creative? Can the fat girl, and by fat girl, I'm not just talking about just chubby, because there's a limit to where they think a fat girl. They think a fat girl cannot be in a relationship. So the only thing that they do is if a girl my size, which I've seen a girl my size on Nigerian movies, and she's always being used like a punchline, like, "Oh, I'm following a cute guy, or he's interested in this skinny girl, but I'm following him around like a fool, and I'm gonna be acting a fool, and I'm gonna be like them, like, oh, I want him, oh, I want him, oh my god, he's so hot." And then she doesn't get him, and then he goes and gets the other one, and she's just a joke. And I'm just like, that girl is beautiful. She could get him if she wanted to, and it is not funny. Like you're trying to be funny in the most, like it's pathetic. Like you could not become any more creative than that. The same joke over and over again. It happens even in the American movies where like the bigger girl, like it's almost like they like know your place. Okay, relationships are for skinny people. Not even skinny people, because even skinny people get the short end of the stick. It's for like normal sized people or average size. I don't even think they use average size because some average size is bigger in different countries or regions than in other countries. So it's not even that. You cannot be. in those movies, if you're gonna end up getting somebody, um, they have to be like they need them to have small waist, a little bit of big hips, a little bit of an ass, and sometime of a certain hue. Or if they're not, they must be black but of a certain tone of black. Or if she is black dark skinned, then she needs to have like some sort of like a like a voice that sounds more white or a behavior that's more white for her to be a love interest or anything like that and not be a person that's just angry at everybody. Um, the skinny girls, buff girls, fat girls, y'all are the butt of the joke. And when you look at that and you're looking at TV, ne, and you're watching like a lot of stories, and a lot of them when you look at somebody who's like fat, ne, and this is not me going like, oh, I'm promoting everybody being fat, but I'm also not gonna keep hating myself for being fat. And you see in those stories that you are not supposed to end up in a relationship. That's what you're seeing on TV. Or if you are in a relationship, it's either going to be an abusive one and you have to first lose weight for you to get you a good man. That was on Why Did I Get Married? She needed to work hard at losing a little bit of weight and then she found a perfect man who was with her when she was losing the weight. Okay. Or you're the joke. Like when you're seeing, what was it? Is it, what was it? Movie of, I forgot what the name of Hobbit, Hobbit? I don't know what the name of it was. When he was with the bigger girl. And I don't know if you know, did he end up with a white girl or was it still a black girl? She was just smaller in size. But when he dressed up as the big woman in the story, she was aggressive. She was just eating everything and she was just running around and she was just demanding and she was all of these things. And I just was like, yeah, way to go into playing into certain stereotypes. Like you can't actually make an actual joke, so that's why you gotta rely on making fat jokes or black women or jokes at the expense of black women or fat people. That's the only way you can make jokes. Um, so when you're growing up seeing things like that, of course, when I'm growing up, my self-esteem is not the highest because in those stories tell me that I'm never gonna find love or or that I'm not attractive enough for me to actually feel attractive and that I should think that there's something wrong with me. So why would I not think? Why would my self esteem be high when you keep seeing imagery like that all the time? Like now it's much better because you see Lizzo, you see what is the name? The comedian, I forgot her name. But of course she also lost weight. Both of them did. But I'm glad that they did it because they wanted to. But during the time that they were bigger, it was they were still happy and fine. You have other I have found creators even online that were much bigger or whatever, and I'm just like it now at least there's a lot more representation and you don't when you see those contents it's not being a joke or anything like that when you see them in relationships and stuff like that you're like okay so I get to see how people can actually be and how it can be and also plus I've also been in my own relationships I know it's possible um even though they were not perfect or anything like that the one thing that they were not coming for me except for the last one that kept on because he was fat once and then he lost weight so now the whole thing of him is always like oh you could lose weight and I was like listen when you swiped on me on Tinder you saw I was fat. I did not hide that fact that I was fat. You could see I was fat. When we were exchanging photos and stuff, and I gave you my socials so that you can go check me out as well on my socials, you will also find me, my full pictures, and you can see that I'm fat. It's not something that is going to be like a shocker to you or anything like that. Why do you keep telling me that I need to lose weight, I need to do this, or you want to give me advice of like, or send me pictures of your before photos? Like, what are we doing? Why are you sending me these photos? I don't know why. Why are you doing this? You saw I was fat. You still swiped on me, and then you said you wanted to date me, and then suddenly the whole thing that your whole conversation now goes around weight, which I'm like, listen, I'm dating you. I'd appreciate for you not to be telling me about my weight. I don't want your opinion. If I'm just telling you about it, I'm telling you. I'm not telling you how to tell me how to do anything. I'm just talking to you as somebody I'm dating. So, but for other ones, it's not a problem. Mostly probably because I was dating skinny guys. So, it wasn't like as much of a problem or anything like that. So yeah, but in any case, this was a video about self-esteem. I don't know why now I'm going into relationships and stuff like that. But that was basically it. My self-esteem is way higher now. I am getting better at loving myself even more. There's a video I did about loving myself and the things that I had, and you should go watch it. I'll also link it at the end of this video, and it'll also be in the description box if you want to go and watch it, or in the iCards as well if you want to watch it. So, guys, from me, that is all. Also, love yourself, enjoy yourself, at whatever weight you are, enjoy yourself, and don't let anybody tell you that you're less than, that you're not beautiful or handsome or whatever it is you want to be. And don't let anybody take your confidence away. And know you're beautiful no matter what. And guys, thank you for listening to me go on a rant and ramble and all of these things. And I hope you guys are actually enjoying this podcast. This is my third one, and I feel like I'm getting, I'm getting my foot. So I'm there. I'm going there. I hope one day I'll have a guest or something, and I hope y'all are actually gonna enjoy listening to me talk. I know I talk a lot, and sometimes I go fast, and I can hear myself going fast. But I'm trying to slow down so that y'all can hear me. And I hope this was not too long for you. I mean, this is almost like when you and me are having. You can be arguing with me even though I cannot hear you, or you can go to the comment section and argue with me about what I'm saying, or just agree with me or whatever, or say whatever you want to say in the description. No, wait, not in the description. Even when I'm filming videos, I keep saying description box instead of like comment section. Hey, this is where you find that I have so many jump cuts when I'm like having my actual videos, because I'm saying things where I'm making mistakes or things don't make sense. Like after I look at them, like, what was I trying to say? Like, doesn't even make any sense. Like, what was I trying to say? But anywho, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll come back to listen to more. And for the next few weeks, I might have a video or two of like recipes also, but at the moment, I'm enjoying this and I'm gonna do this. And I have a bunch of studying that I also need to do and assignments that I need to submit. So this is easier for me because I don't have to be setting up and doing all of those things and coming up with ideas of food and recipes and all of that. But I will be coming up with the next one. Also, please do follow me on all my social media links, which I would have been linking throughout the whole entire video. Plus, they are gonna be in the description box. Also, do not forget, if you have not hit that subscribe button, to smash and hit that subscribe button so that you can get even more content and you know when it's coming out. Also, hit the little bell notification on the side just so that the moment I post something, podcast or just a video, recipe video, or comment or rant, and I actually want to be on screen, you can see and know that I just released a new one. So guys, love y'all. Till next time, bye.